The most important thing you can do as a young man is lock in and build an aesthetic body, and I'll tell you exactly why. There's a lot of people that say going to the gym is just coping and that it won't do much for you, but building an aesthetic body literally saved my life. If it weren't for the drive and motivation to build an aesthetic body, there's a good chance I wouldn't even be here today. When I was a young, skinny, fat teenager, I used to be so depressed and just play video games all day. I'd binge eat Pop-Tarts and junk food. I wouldn't do much physical activity. I never lifted weights. I wasn't in shape. I could barely run a mile. I could barely do push-ups. But I remember the exact moment I knew I needed to change something. It was December of 2020, and Sephiroth was just added as a DLC character into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And he had an alternative shirtless costume where he was muscular and shredded. 15-year-old me saw that, and I knew that's the exact physique I wanted. Lean, six-pack, big shoulders, big chest, jacked arms. And in 2021, I really started going to the gym and taking this weightlifting stuff seriously. I remember within a few months, I saw my abs for the first time in my life, and I was so shocked and excited. I had to call my mom on the phone just to tell her. I remember lifting 135 pounds on the bench press for the first time and feeling so ecstatic. I became obsessed. I was watching so many fitness influencers and buying programs, but after a few years, that obsession faded away. I was just going to the gym and mindlessly moving weight. I didn't care about my diet. 4 years in, I only weighed 145 pounds and I didn't look at all what I had wanted to when I was 15. And I tell you all this because 1, my story may resonate with you, and 2, because within the past year and a half, I was able to make the most gains in my life by 100% locking in and becoming unrecognizable. Me in spring of 2024 compared to me today are literally 20 pounds different. I'm moving weight I couldn't even imagine. I've built a body that legitimately scares me when I look in the mirror because I can't believe that's what I actually look like. I want you to have this same feeling. It's better than any drug, video game, or hedonistic addiction you can have. Building an aesthetic body and becoming unrecognizable is the most important thing you can do, and here is exactly how you do it. The most important thing about building an aesthetic body isn't the program you're doing or what exercises you're doing. It's about how much effort you're putting in. Anyone can get jacked if they train with high intensity, eat clean, and get the proper sleep. Intensity is one of the biggest things beginners don't understand. I didn't understand it, and it took me nearly 4 years of lifting to do so. I didn't progress because I would just do multiple sets with no thought behind them. I would just move the weight, never push myself to the absolute limit. But this is the only way you can build an aesthetic body and change your life. If you want to have a mid physique for the rest of your life like I did for years, go ahead and just move the weight. But if you actually want to build muscle, your working sets better be you fighting for your life. And I'm serious, this isn't just me trying to sound dramatic. There's times when I unrack the bar from the squat rack and I'm legitimately nervous and I have to take huge, loud, deep breaths to prevent myself from getting so scared. My face turns red when I'm deadlifting, my veins are popping out. I can barely breathe and my hands are gripping the bar so tight they don't even want to close anymore. And after I let go of the bar, my hands are in pain for the next 5 minutes. I lay down on the bench with dumbbells, having no idea if they're even gonna move up for one more rep, and then I do 8. I grunt, I breathe hard, my body is covered in sweat, I'm out of breath, sometimes my nose bleeds, sometimes I throw up. That's how hard you need to train, and I promise you, if you're going to the gym just to dick around, you will never get your dream physique, you will never become unrecognizable. But you need to have a reason to train that hard. For many of us, the biggest reason is because we want to become attractive to women. I do too. And there should be no shame in admitting that. But I've gone beyond. I want to look like a Greek god statue. I want to look like Steve Reeves. I want to look like Frank Zane. I want my silhouette to look like a comic book character. Whatever your reason may be, you have to be obsessed. You have to be so passionate that on the days you don't feel like it, you still go. And you can't give up. Don't do what I did. You're going to have periods where you're going to fall off, but don't fail. Don't let that make you give up. You have to train, and you have to train hard. Whatever split or whatever routine or whatever program you're doing, don't half-ass it at all. You have to give training your 100% maximum effort. The same discipline you have in the gym, you have to have in the kitchen. If you're fat right now, you can't be crushing down cans of pop and door dashing fast food every day. If you're skinny and you need to build muscle, you can't skip a meal because you're not hungry. You genuinely have to force yourself to do the things that you don't want to do if you want your dream results. It's extremely hard to do it by yourself, especially if you don't know anything about diet and nutrition, which is why I offer one-on-one coaching, because I want to make sure people can get to their goals with minimal stress and complication. But whether you sign up for my coaching or not, I can't force you to not eat junk food or spoon feed you like a baby. You have to be willing to do that yourself, and until you're able to conjure up that discipline, you will never get the body that you want. Just like with training in the gym, you need to become obsessed with your goal to have a reason to want to do this. Remind yourself of what your dream physique is every day. Make it the lock screen on your phone if you have to. If you don't have the purpose, there will never be the will to diet correctly. Remember what your purpose is and obsess over it. That is the only way dieting will ever become easier for you. You can know what your purpose is and obsess over it, but I know what it's like to be in the gym and not having the drive to push hard some days. Some days you're at home and you think to yourself, another plate of food won't hurt. Some nights you just want to stay up all night. The remedy of this is of course motivation, but sometimes the usual motivation won't be enough. Sometimes you just need to get dark, and a lot of people return away at this and think it sounds cringe, but I promise you this is so effective. There should be things in your life that make you upset. For many people, they go to the gym because of heartbreak. Maybe their girlfriend broke up with them, maybe they got rejected. For some people, it's always being the fat friend or being known as the skinny guy. Maybe you've been betrayed, maybe one of your close friendships fell apart, maybe something traumatic happened, maybe you've been a loser your whole life and now you want to win, and now you want to show everyone that you're a winner. And it's okay to tap into these emotions, but don't let them control you. Never be so vain that other people's approval and judgments control you. But tap into these feelings. Address these feelings, acknowledge these feelings, and tap into them. The best example I can give is Mace Windu from Star Wars. He was a Jedi, but he knew there was some power in just slightly tapping into the dark side of the Force to make him more powerful. That's what I and many other guys found to help them in this journey of locking in. And it's not just the gym, it's for anything. It's just tapping into those dark emotions. Use your feelings of sadness, anger, jealousy, and instead of channeling them into hurting others or hurting yourself, use it to build yourself. That's going to build more muscle than any other advice I can possibly give you. If you found this video helpful, feel free to subscribe, and if you want me to help you in locking in and building the aesthetic body, click the link in the description.